Well, good thirsty Thursday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. Let's wake up the football gods here. Are you excited? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Check it out. Down there. 49 days, 12 hours, 22 minutes, and 20 seconds away from kickoff of the 2022 season. You know, I always start the clock somewhere around about 120, 130 days. The fact that we are under 50 days right now is incredible. Come tonight, 8:15, we'll be at 48 days. To think, today is the 21st of July. The 27th is the first practice. We talking about practice, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. And you know, it's kind of crazy to me. I'm going through this morning, looking at the news and everything else, and I saw, it's one of the crazier things that I see. It's kind of like mock drafts 2023. Are you serious? You don't know what position anybody's going to even draft in, much less what players in college will all of a sudden stand out that aren't there before. But you're doing mock drafts? I saw a futures draft ranking. Excuse me, not draft ranking. Power ranking. Projecting 3 years down the road. Guys, they can't get power rankings right for this year. Hell, they get power rankings right for 2 weeks ahead. How are you going to do one for 3 years ahead? Seriously? Now we're just making shit up. We're just making shit up. Now, I guess you could look at the Cowboys and say, you know, after losing Randy Gregory and Amari Cooper and not doing things in free agency, that, you know, they're not going to be great down the road. But then again, usually free agents have a shelf life, big name free agents have a shelf life of about 2 years, because 2 years their contract becomes cost prohibitive and they usually are done. Take the Giants last year signing Kyle Rudolph. He only made it through 1 year. I need to do some more research and see if there is a big name free agency, how long they are in with the team after signing a big contract. I'm betting that a lot of them end up being like the Dream Team was, where they came in, they cost a lot of money, they disappointed in what they were going to do, they ended up having to scrap them and start all over. I know we didn't get a lot of sizzle in this year's draft. But see, here's the way I actually look at it. I look at this draft as a substance draft, that we got foundational possible pieces. Now, there's no guarantee how anybody works out. There's no guarantee how anybody works out. But you can look at a Tyron Smith, and when we got Tyron Smith and signed up to a long-term deal long ago, that's where his contract is actually cheap right now. And you look at that and say, yeah, he was the anchor of the offensive line for so many years. Now of course, he's on the tail end of his career. But that was a foundational piece. That wasn't like going out and getting a Julio Jones. You look at Julio Jones and say, hey, we got that great wide receiver. But the reality is that offensive lineman is the guy that's actually key for that wide receiver to be able to get the ball because the quarterback's upright. That running back is that much better because of that offensive lineman. And it seems like with Tyler Smith, that things are looking up for him, that he is learning to keep his hands in. His problem is he's so big and such a wide shoulder base. When he's going against smaller guys, naturally his arms are like this. They're teaching him to get his elbows inside, so that way his hands are shoving them right out of the way to alleviate the penalties. The guy is a road grader. He is a beast. That is a foundational type piece that you get there. You get a guy like a John Ridgeway. He's not a guy that's going to sell a whole lot of jerseys, if he pans out and ends up being a run stuffer in the middle, you have a foundational piece that's going forward for the years going ahead. You look at guys like Tristan Hill that we have and Osa. These are young guys that we've only scratched the surface of because they have had limited playing time, but have had flashes of becoming really good, maybe even great type players. We know about Micah Parsons and what he can do. And as far as guys like CeeDee Lamb, understand wide receivers usually take a couple years to really get into their strides. CeeDee Lamb has already been a 1,000-yard receiver in his second year, not being able to work out with his quarterback in the offseason. This is just his third year. Now, the funny thing for me is going by the rankings and things that we're hearing from people and so on. The good news for the Dallas Cowboys is apparently they have a lot of room to improve. Dak Prescott, maybe a top 15 quarterback. He's garbage. So he hasn't hit the ceiling. So you're saying there's room for him to improve. And I dare say with him having a healthy offseason where he's not rehabbing an ankle, being able to work out with his players, being able to go to training camp and actually work out in training camp, that means he should be better, right? Zeke Elliott, who was averaging 5.3 yards a carry before the PCL injury, is healed. He may not average 5.3 yards a carry, but he might average more than 4.2. So you're saying there's room for improvement for Zeke Elliott and potential there. Okay. Trayvon Diggs, I know he's given up a whole lot of yardage. You know, he got 11 interceptions. I doubt he's going to get 11 interceptions this year. It'd be amazing if he did. It'd be something nobody else has ever done. But I think because he's only been in 2 years, that maybe he'll improve as a cornerback. Is that possible? So there's room for improvement. Micah Parsons, who was a linebacker, edge rusher, and a rookie all at the same time, now I believe has actually a better cast of characters on the defensive line. Now has a second year in the same defense. So there's possibilities that he has room to improve, right? DeMarcus Lawrence was on the PUP list at training camp last year, having had off-season surgery. Ended up breaking his foot week number 1, missing like 7 games or so, 8 games. So there's room for him to improve, right? Because now he's been fully healthy, able to do everything from the captain's workouts on in. So when you look at the Cowboys and what they did and what people say about them, there seems like there's a lot of areas that they can grow with the players that they have currently. And then we start thinking about guys like Sam Williams that are really fast on the edge and speed kills. You start putting them in. You start understanding that you're going to have Neville Gallimore, from week 1 as opposed to week 13. So I look at it and say, sure, the Cowboys didn't do a lot of things to improve by bringing in other personnel. Stephen Jones always says, we believe in our guys. If our guys play just to their potential or play just a little bit better than they did last year on a team that was 12-5, isn't it possible that they're at least as good as last year or maybe even better? Maybe I'm crazy, but I really and honestly truly feel that. So the topic on Speak for Yourself, Dak Prescott needs to rise up for the team to contend, and I'll agree with that 100%. Let's listen to it for a bit.
With you because I've tried for thousands and thousands of times to make you understand how precious these Dallas Cowboys are. And I say precious because it could go both ways with them, but they are special. And this is how precious and special this team is. Let's go through this imagination exercise, shall we?
Imagination.
I got one team sitting here. They won 4 games. And I got another team sitting here. they won 12 games. If you had to bet your life, which team could make the Super Bowl the next year after winning 4 games or 12 games, which one would you bet?
12 wins, sir.
Oh, God.
Gotcha.
That 4-win team was the Cincinnati Bengals that end up making it to the Super Bowl the next year after winning 4 games. The Dallas Cowboys won 12 games last year. Who knows? Maybe the same thing happened in Cincinnati can happen in Dallas in terms of that graduation. But it will be even easier for these Dallas Cowboys because they're uberly talented. #1 offense in the entire NFL with some dead weight now gone from that offense. I am not talking back. See, I knew your face. I knew your face.
Wait a second. We don't need these highlights.
Oh, you want to get them off? You want to get your face on there?
What?
You want to get back on the field? Amari Cooper regressed. You know Amari Cooper regressed
Sir,
every
you
single year.
said dead weight, sir.
Yeah, that's dead weight.
You said dead weight. 900 receiving yards is not dead weight. The third leading
It wasn't
receiver-
900.
It wasn't 900. Keep going.
800 plus receiving yards
sounds a
is
little
dead
different.
weight.
Okay.
The third leading receiver on the team is not dead weight.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. When the #1 receiver can't get #1 receiver opportunities because others in perception are in his way.
Sir, he was getting
Gregory.
#1 receiver
Okay, you know what? Dead
opportunities.
weight is excessive. That's hyperbole.
Thank you, it is.
But they're going to be better without him. Let's just say that, okay? And they were #1 offense with him being third option. If you get up out the way, #1 perception, #3 reality. Can you get up out the way so we can do this right? Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott is another situation. You played in the league. I can't believe you don't even understand this, and I know you do. How many times have you been on the sideline and be like, yo, it's some better players over here for us than is on that field right now? The best 11 don't always play. There are other dynamics in business, et cetera, contract status, et cetera. All I'm saying is the Dallas Cowboys are going to get 2 positions that they were already #1 in the league in, all clear the path. Dallas Cowboys lost a game at home to the San Francisco 49ers on the last play of the game, despite really getting washed most of that game. Those same 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers, which were the #1 seed. You got to respect that these Dallas Cowboys are this close. And in the 3rd year in the system with Dak Prescott, it's going to be the same magic Mike McCarthy created in the 3rd year with Aaron Rodgers in his system. I'm betting on the Dallas Cowboys being a Super Bowl team just because it's a smarter bet than betting on a 4-win team that ended up being a Super Bowl team. You're mad.
I'm offended. I'm not mad. I'm offended. I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not mad. The Cowboys are not a Super Bowl team because they don't have a Super Bowl coach. Now, I understand what you're saying.
What?
Acho, how dare you say they don't have a Super Bowl coach when Mike McCarthy literally won a Super Bowl?
Oh, my.
But think about this, Sel.
Go.
No NFL coach has ever won a Super Bowl on 2 different teams. No NFL head coach ever done that.
None?
Think about none.
Wow.
Think about this even more so, Sel. You have 13 NFL coaches that have won multiple Super Bowls, have won more than one. Mike McCarthy already won one, so for him to win another, that would make multiple. 13 NFL coaches have won multiple Super Bowls, but no coach has had more than 1 losing season in between the Super Bowls.
Did you?
Meanwhile, Mike McCarthy had a losing season in 2017, 2018, 2020. So what you are telling me is that the Dallas Cowboys are a Super Bowl team, even though they don't have a Super Bowl coach.
Oh,
no
stop
coach.
that.
None.
Stop that.
Not Belichick. Not nobody. Pete Carroll.
Not nobody.
Tomlin. And now, mind you, they didn't have to switch
not
teams.
nobody.
Yeah.
But no coach has won a Super Bowl on 2 different teams as a head man. And you're telling me Mike McCarthy's going to do so? Here's why that stat doesn't exist. If you that great a coach, you wouldn't get fired.
You ain't going nowhere. Or quit. Not just fired. Some of them quit. Bill Cowher.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't get fired. Bill Belichick. Patriots not firing him.
Yeah, good.
Even after Tom Brady and you go to Mac Jones. Pete Carroll. Seahawks not firing him. What'd they do instead? We're going to get rid of maybe the greatest Seahawk of all time. Pete, you can stay. Russell, you got to go. Mike Tomlin. Man, you found a way to win 8 games with Devlin Duck Hodges, with Landry Jones, with Mason Rudolph. You not getting fired. Big Ben, appreciate you. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Tomlin, you good. But Mike McCarthy,
What?
hey, big dog, after 1 bad season with Aaron Rodgers hurt, you got to go.
Oh.
So with that being said, Sel, the Cowboys don't have a Super Bowl coach, and as a result, they don't have a Super Bowl team.
That's not fair. That's not fair to Mike McCarthy. First of all, you got anything in this world you accomplish, let's keep that. Let's cement that. Like your diplomas, like your Emmys,
Cemented.
like him winning a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl champion head coach. But
Past tense.
well, they all past tense.
tense.
Every single one you're going to name is past tense. The next one is the next one. And right now, they're all past tense. The game was yesterdays ago. That's the point. So
Yes.
here we go. I'm a big fan of freakonomics.
Freakonomics. Oh,
counterintuitively
super
about
freak.
things, right? You got to look at it differently, right? And it's crazy if I look at this. He was fired from the Green Bay Packers. Except, what's the one team in the NFL that doesn't have an owner? The Green Bay Packers. They got 47 owners of a committee. Basically, everybody meet at Walmart in Green Bay on a random Sunday.
Oh, not at Walmart. Not at Walmart.
$150 million. Man, he old as hell. So what? We ain't got nothing. Oh, we're not gonna get him any receivers, but we're gonna pay him $150 million. So what? Like the Green Bay Packers, everyone always says how well ran the organization is. Yeah, quarterback. Y'all had 2 great quarterbacks in 30 years, but everything else kind of been weird. Ask Clay Matthews and others about how that thing went down. Anyway. Let's not use that against Mike McCarthy. I don't know if they know which way is up sometimes upstairs. Here's the thing that I love about Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy took his sabbatical. He took his hiatus. And he came back. He said, I'm going to land on America's team. Now, you made the great point of most Super Bowl winning coaches just stay still.
Yes, sir.
Right? And none of them get fired, and some of them just quit. Right?
Yep.
But there's always a first. And especially in
That's right.
2022, where I see all across, even the NFL, first woman team president, first black team, that first a lot in our society today. You trying to tell me there will never be a coach that leaves one franchise and goes to another and wins one, especially rich in resources and talent as these.
Okay, we're going to leave it right there on that one. You know, a player's not great until he's great. You know, nobody had gotten 11 interceptions this century until Diggs did. And nobody has repeated in the NFC East until they do again. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to be on the road this morning. I got some business to handle and things. But, you know, we're going to keep up with all the news that is the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe for the Sports Report.